the Sony conference just ended like a couple of minutes ago, and there are two main emotions I have. I am excited and I am so freaking disappointed. Sony started out really strong with, they showed off Destiny. They of course already always show off Destiny, and I'm not really particularly interested in the game. It looked pretty cool. I was like, okay, it's a game I'm gonna buy, of course. But they did show a bundle with the white PlayStation 4, and that PlayStation 4 looks so freaking sexy. It's coming out September this year, and I'm definitely, I think, gonna buy that bundle. The PlayStation White 4 is so freaking amazing. Then they showed gameplay of the Order 1886. That looks pretty cool. Still, it's a bit of a third-person shooter with monsters and that. So it definitely looks interesting. Definitely a must-have game to buy. Not really sure if it's going to be a good game or bad game, but Ready at Dawn made a couple of PSP games that are absolutely amazing. So they're pretty good. Then they showed a digital game called Entwined, and some of my friends actually said, oh, this game looks gay, this and that, but I thought it was pretty interesting. Maybe I should definitely like stop my hate towards digital games and arcade small digital games and just try out a couple of them, because I do absolutely love Super Stardust HD. I just don't like the policies of the servers going down and then nothing. They showed a stand-alone downloadable content for Infamous Second Son called Infamous First Light. Now the main character is some kind of girl. It looks pretty interesting, pretty cool, and like I said, it's stand-alone, so you don't need Infamous Second Son to actually play it. Then they showed off Little Big Planet 3 coming exclusively, of course, for the PlayStation 4 this year, this holiday. Yeah, Little Planet is definitely a really cool franchise. It's an amazing platform game where you can create your own levels, but the whole charm of the game kind of wore off from me, after Little Planet 1. That's why I never played part 2. I do have it in my collection, but I never played it. I was like, okay, you know, I played so much on Little Planet 1, it's pretty much the same. So still, you know, there are a lot of fans from Little Planet, I guess. Then they showed Project Beast, or now it's called Bloodborne, and it was a CGI trailer, but I think not a lot of people know there is actually a gameplay trailer for the game. Definitely check that out. It feels and plays just like Demon's Souls, even with the freaking white screen to enter a boss fight, you know, but it has a different atmosphere, a different environments, not totally into the medieval fantasy, holy shit. So there's a lot of lightning, and then it's gonna be like and so that game looked freaking amazing. See? Told you. So yeah, Bloodborne coming out next year, so not this year. Not a lot of games are coming out this year actually for the PS4. That's kind of annoying. But then again, Bloodborne, holy shit, looks freaking amazing. Hopefully it's good. I mean, come on, some of the developers of Dark Souls and Demons, of course, it's gonna be good. They showed off Far Cry 4. That game looks pretty interesting, really cool. Definitely gonna buy it when it's absolutely cheap. They showed a trailer of Dead Island 2. I have a female friend that absolutely loved Dead Island, so I'm definitely know she's like wholly hyped now for the game. It looks interesting. They showed off Battlefield Hardline, and they were talking about Disney Infinite exclusive shit for the PlayStation, don't care. They showed off Magica 2 or Magica 2 for the PS4, looks interesting, whatever, sorry, whatever. And they were talking about old PlayStation games, and I was like, okay, they're gonna bring back Crash Bandicoot or Medieval, because I freaking love that game. No, they are gonna bring back Grim Fandango for the PS4 and PlayStation Vita. I have no idea what that game is. Seriously, I've never heard of it ever. Then they were talking about indies. You know, this generation is really about indie developers, indie games, you know, all those small games that I don't really hate but don't really care about. So maybe I should care about all those indie games, because they did show a couple of really interesting ones. Let It Die from Sude51 looks pretty interesting. And then Abzu looked absolutely stunning. Then they showed off No Man's Sky, and that looks stunning too. But I don't know, about the gameplay, it looks kind of boring. Even though graphically it looks really cool. Then the bad part started. With Project Morpheus. That was not really bad, but they were talking about Project Morpheus. Pretty fast, pretty smart, short, so I was like, okay, cool. Then they were talking about the PlayStation Network, how many times people pressed a certain button, how many games have been played, how many hours have been played, blah 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 blah. It took way too long, way too long. Then they announced the PlayStation Vita TV, now called PlayStation TV, for the West. Only in America they said how much it's gonna cost, $100. That's a pretty cool price. And since Sony always has this one-on-one, I bet it's gonna be 100 euros for Europe too. Maybe I'm gonna buy it, maybe. So PlayStation Vita TV is coming out, and you can stream your PS3 games and PlayStation 1 games, so that's pretty interesting. Then they, after, seriously, like 40 minutes of talking, I'm not joking, I was so annoyed, so bored, so irritated about all that bullshit talking. They showed off the gameplay trailer of, gameplay trailer of Mortal Kombat X. That's definitely a game I really need to play. Then, they were talking about movies. Movies this, movies that. Then some bald fat guy, I know a lot of people are gonna unsubscribe, like, oh, you disrespected this awesome guy that worked at Marvel. I don't give a shit. I don't like Marvel. I don't like DC Comics. I just don't like those type of things. We're talking about this exclusive series coming for the PlayStation 4 called Powers, and he was talking and talking, and I was like talking like, I was bored as hell. Seriously, even at the Microsoft conference, I wasn't bored. I was bored at Sony's. After 20 minutes of talking with the fat guy, they showed a trailer of Ratchet & Clank the movie. That looked pretty interesting. I love Ratchet & Clank, that's really cool. Then they showed a trailer of The Last of Us remastered for the PS4. Interesting if you haven't played it yet, I already played it. Then they showed finally some interesting things. Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain, or The Phantom Pain. Looks absolutely stunning, cannot wait to play it. Then they showed GTA 5 coming to the PlayStation 4 this year. That's maybe a game I'm gonna buy also for my PlayStation 4, because I never played it on the PS3. And of course it has enhanced graphics and maybe more content, so I most probably will get it on my PS4. It did look pretty good. Then they showed Batman Arkham Knight. Well, like I said, I'm not a fan of DC Comics, Marvel, or every American comic type of thing. I just don't like it. I don't know why. I'm more like anime and, you know, all the other things. But I have to admit, graphically the game looks absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. And then, finally, I had a little breath, a little relief, like, ah, yes, Uncharted 4. And they started out with, they said it was all in-game from the PS4, so don't know if that's true or not, but giving the record that Uncharted 2 and 3 looked absolutely freakingly amazing, and it was indeed what they said. Uncharted 4 looks just... holy shit. Uncharted 4 looks just like... Uncharted 4 makes Killzone Shadowfall look like an ugly duck. It looked amazing, just beyond freaking amazing. And I'm like, PC fanboys like, ah, the graphics sucks, blah blah blah. I don't give a shit. The game looks absolutely amazing. I cannot freaking wait to play Uncharted 4. The trailer was really short though, so that's a little of a bad taste. But what they shown was absolutely stunning. It's called Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. Maybe the end of the franchise, hopefully not, but who knows. Coming out next year. So next year is going to be an crazy year for Sony, for the PlayStation 4, but this year they're gonna have a hard time this holiday because Halo Collection is coming out for Microsoft, Xbox One, so they're gonna have a hard time. They need something like a Japanese RPG or whatever, I don't know. Overall, like I said, I have two emotions. I like the first part, I like all the games they shown and not just games we already knew about. They showed, of course, new exclusive games for the PlayStation 4. They showed The Order and Bloodborne and of course the amazing looking Uncharted 4, but the 40 minutes talking about absolutely bullshit just, in my opinion, destroys all the excitement I had built up from watching the first part of the game. And it really makes me think of why the fuck did I stay up so freaking late. I have to go to work in like an hour. Why the hell did I stay up? There's nothing absolutely amazingly interesting to look at. We didn't see any gameplay trailers of Bloodborne. It was like a short freaking trailer of Uncharted 4, so it was not particularly interesting at all. I have to admit that Sony did win because it's all about the games, and Sony did win the E3 in my opinion, because I am more interested in The Order, I am more interested in Bloodborne, and I'm more interested in Uncharted 4 than I'm interested in the Halo Collection, in Crackdown, in Phantom Dawn, so those other games that were not really interesting. But Microsoft definitely had the best presentation. They just stomped on Sony's presentation because they showed game after game after game after game after game without talking, and Sony talked too freaking much. Hopefully they're gonna learn. All the mistakes Microsoft made last year with talking way too much about the media stuff for a console, that's what Sony did. They did still, like I said, show amazing games, but too much talking about media center bullshit. Leave in the comments below, what do you think wins at E3? Microsoft or Sony? And also just say in the comments about, the presentation and the games. Did you like the games from Microsoft better than the games Sony showed? And the presentation is pretty much Microsoft won. So leave in the comments below, how did you think the Sony press conference? What rate would you give it? I would definitely give it like a 7.5, maybe 8 because of Uncharted 4. But yeah, it was too short of a trailer and just a bad taste from all that talking is so freaking annoying. Like always, like, comment and share the video. You can subscribe around here, I guess. And like always, I will see you next time.